Chosen ones, this sibling regrets what they did to you, but it's too late now. Listen closely and do not scroll away, because what is unfolding in your life carries a quiet weight that your heart has felt for a long time. And if you stay with these words, something gentle yet powerful will settle inside you, like a healing breath you did not know you needed. There is a moment happening right now that is not loud or dramatic, yet it is deeply real, and it holds a kind of truth that can bring peace where there has been silent pain for years. Type Amen. There has been a wound that came from someone who should have stood beside you with love, someone who shared your beginnings and your home, yet chose a path that left you feeling unseen and quietly broken in ways you never spoke about openly. Within your spirit, there has always been a quiet knowing that God saw everything, even when no one else understood the depth of what you carried. There is something sacred about the way God watches over hearts that have been hurt by those closest to them, because He does not turn away from pain that comes from family, and He does not ignore tears that were hidden behind forced smiles and quiet endurance. What you went through was not small, and it was not something that can simply be brushed aside as time passing, because it shaped the way you saw love, trust, and even your own worth. Yet even in that, God never stepped away from you, and He never allowed your story to be defined by what someone else chose to do. Within the silence of your suffering, there was a presence holding you together, guiding you gently forward, even when your steps felt heavy and uncertain. Please take a gentle moment and show your support by liking this video, because your simple action helps this message reach another heart that is quietly hurting and waiting for comfort. There comes a time when truth begins to rise to the surface, not in a loud or dramatic way, but in a quiet unfolding that reveals what has always been hidden beneath pride, denial, and distance. The one who hurt you, the one who walked away from your pain or added to it, is now standing in a place where they can see clearly what they once ignored. Regret has a way of arriving slowly, like a shadow growing longer with the setting sun, and it does not rush or shout, but it stays, reminding the heart of what was lost and what can never be undone. What they did cannot be erased, and what they chose cannot be taken back, and now they feel the weight of that truth in a way they never expected. But this is not a story about their regret, because your life was never meant to be centered around their actions or their realization. Your story has always been about how God carried you through something that could have hardened your heart, but instead softened your spirit in ways that made you stronger, kinder, and more deeply aware of what true love should feel like. You were not left behind in that moment of hurt, even when it felt like you were standing alone, because God was shaping something inside you that could not have been formed in comfort or ease. There is a quiet strength in you now that was born out of that pain, and it is not something the world easily notices, yet it is something heaven deeply values. You learned how to stand without support, how to breathe through disappointment, and how to keep moving forward even when your heart felt tired and misunderstood. These are not small things, and they are not things that everyone learns, because many people turn bitter or closed when they face what you faced, yet you chose to remain open, even when it was difficult. The regret that lives in that other heart is real, but it comes after choices have already shaped the path, and there are moments in life where realization comes too late to change what has already been set into motion. This does not mean there is no forgiveness in the world, and it does not mean that healing cannot exist, but it does mean that time moves forward, and not everything can be returned to what it once was. God sees both sides, and He understands both hearts, but He also knows the value of what you endured and the way you kept your spirit from becoming cold or distant. Type 1212. There is something powerful about choosing to release the weight of what happened, not because it was acceptable, but because your heart deserves peace that is not tied to someone else's understanding or regret. Holding on to pain does not change the past, and it does not bring healing, but letting go creates space for something new to grow, something gentle and full of light. God is not asking you to forget, and He is not asking you to pretend nothing happened, but He is inviting you into a place where your heart can rest without carrying what was never meant to stay with you forever. You are not defined by what your sibling did, and you are not limited by the way they treated you, because your identity has always been rooted in something far greater than human actions or broken relationships. There is a calling on your life that cannot be stopped by past hurt, and there is a future waiting for you that is not shaped by regret, but by grace and quiet restoration. God is leading you into a space where your heart can feel safe again, where your spirit can breathe without heaviness, and where your story continues with hope instead of pain. The pain that once echoed loudly in your thoughts begins to soften, not because it never mattered, but because it no longer holds the same power over your spirit. God has been patiently walking beside you through every step of this journey, holding together the parts of you that felt scattered and guiding you toward a peace that is not fragile or temporary. Type 2020. There is a new strength forming within you that does not depend on how others treat you, but on how deeply you are rooted in God's love and truth. What if the reason money keeps avoiding you has nothing to do with hard work? A leaked CIA-backed study claims there is a hidden 7-second ritual that can retrain the brain to attract wealth and abundance naturally. Verified by multiple neuroscience labs, this simple method is helping ordinary people escape financial stress and experience sudden breakthroughs in income, success, and lifestyle. Some users say their lives changed within days, but there is a reason this information is not being talked about openly. The page sharing this secret could vanish at any moment. Click the link in the description and comments before it is too late. The story of what happened between you and your sibling is not just about conflict or hurt, but about the quiet lessons that shaped your heart in ways you did not fully understand at the time. You learned how to be patient when you were misunderstood, how to remain kind when kindness was not returned, and how to keep your faith steady even when relationships around you felt uncertain and broken. These lessons were not easy, and they did not come without tears or moments of deep loneliness, yet they became part of the foundation that now supports the person you are becoming. God does not waste pain, and He does not allow suffering to exist without purpose, even when that purpose is hidden for a long time. There were days when you questioned your worth, when the actions of someone close made you feel as though you were not enough or not deserving of love and respect. Yet even in those moments, God was quietly reminding you of your true value. His voice was not always loud, but it was present in the gentle encouragement you felt to keep going, to not give up on yourself, and to believe that your life held meaning beyond what others could see or understand. That quiet voice has been guiding you all along, even when you felt lost or uncertain, and it continues to lead you into a place where your heart can rest without fear. Forgiveness is often misunderstood because it is not about excusing what was done or pretending that the pain was small, but about freeing your own heart from the burden of carrying something that no longer serves your peace. You are not being asked to forget what happened or to trust blindly again, but you are being invited to release the weight of resentment that can slowly drain your spirit if it is held too tightly. God understands the complexity of your emotions, and He does not rush your healing, but He gently encourages you to move toward a place where your heart can breathe without the constant pressure of past hurt. Type 666. There is a sacred kind of freedom that comes when you allow yourself to step out of the shadow of what happened and into the light of what is possible now, and that freedom is not something that anyone else can give or take away from you. It is something that grows within you, as you choose peace over bitterness, as you choose faith over fear, and as you choose to believe that your life is still filled with purpose and hope. God is opening new doors for you, not because everything in your past was perfect, but because your future is not limited by what has already been done. The regret that lives within your sibling is something they must face and carry in their own way, and it is not something that you need to fix or take responsibility for. Their journey is separate from yours, even though your paths were once closely connected, and God is working in their life in ways that you may never fully see or understand. What matters now is the way God is working within you, restoring your sense of peace, strengthening your spirit, and guiding you toward a life that feels full and meaningful again. There is a quiet beauty in the way your heart is learning to trust again, not necessarily in the same people or situations, but in God's ability to lead you into relationships and experiences that are healthy and life-giving. You are not meant to walk through life guarded and closed, and you are not meant to carry the weight of past hurt into every new connection. God is teaching you how to open your heart in a wise and gentle way, allowing love to enter without fear, and allowing yourself to experience joy without the constant expectation of disappointment. The pain you once felt so deeply is now becoming a source of understanding and compassion within you, allowing you to connect with others who are also hurting and in need of comfort. You have a unique ability to see beyond the surface, to recognize the silent struggles that others may be carrying, and to offer kindness in a way that feels genuine and healing. This is not something that came easily, and it is not something that everyone possesses, but it is a gift that has been shaped through your experiences and guided by God's presence in your life. There will always be moments when memories resurface, when the past feels close again, and when emotions rise in ways that feel unexpected. Yet those moments do not have to define your present or your future. You are learning how to acknowledge those feelings without allowing them to take control, how to honor your experiences without becoming trapped by them, and how to move forward with a sense of peace that remains steady even when emotions fluctuate. God is with you in those moments, offering comfort and reassurance, reminding you that you are not alone and that you are stronger than you sometimes feel. The path ahead is not about proving anything to anyone, and it is not about seeking validation from those who once failed to see your worth, but about embracing the life that God has placed before you with confidence and hope. You are allowed to move forward, to find happiness, and to build a future that feels aligned with who you truly are, without carrying the weight of past expectations or disappointments. God is calling you into a new season, one that is marked by growth, healing, and a deeper sense of purpose. As you continue on this journey, there will be small moments of joy that remind you how far you have come, moments that feel simple yet deeply meaningful, and moments that fill your heart with a quiet sense of gratitude. These moments are signs of healing, signs that your heart is opening again, and signs that God is restoring what was once broken. You do not need to rush this process or force anything to happen, because true healing unfolds naturally over time, guided by patience and grace. A former government researcher exposed a powerful 7-second money ritual that is now spreading rapidly online. According to leaked CIA files, this brainwave technique may help unlock a hidden part of the mind connected to wealth, opportunity, and financial success. 4 neuroscience labs reportedly confirmed the results. Since then, people struggling with debt claim they have started attracting money, better careers, expensive homes, luxury travel, and financial freedom. This secret is gaining attention fast and may not stay public for long. Click the description and comments now to see the full method before it disappears. You are not behind, and you are not missing out on anything that is meant for you, because God's timing is perfect, and His plans for your life are unfolding exactly as they should. What you went through did not delay your purpose, and it did not take away your opportunity for joy, but it prepared you in ways that are now becoming clear as you step into this new season. There is something beautiful waiting for you ahead, something that will bring a sense of peace and fulfillment that you may not have believed was possible before. The story of your life is still being written, and it is not defined by a single chapter or a single relationship, but by the way God continues to guide and shape your journey. You are moving forward with a heart that is stronger, wiser, and more open than it has ever been, and that is something to be honored and cherished. There is no need to look back with regret or to wish things had been different, because everything you experienced has brought you to this moment, a moment where healing is real and hope is alive. This calm is not something you forced into existence, and it is not something that appeared overnight, but something that slowly grew within you as God gently worked through every hidden layer of your pain. Type 2323. You may not have noticed each step of this healing as it happened, yet when you pause and look within, there is a clear difference between who you were when the hurt was fresh and who you are now. Standing with a strength that feels steady and real. There was a time when your thoughts would return again and again to what happened, replaying moments, searching for answers, and trying to understand why things unfolded the way they did. Yet now, those thoughts have begun to lose their grip. They still exist, but they no longer control the way you feel or the way you see yourself, because something inside you has shifted toward acceptance and peace. God has been guiding you through this quiet transformation, helping you release the need to make sense of everything, and instead, trust that your life is still moving in a direction filled with purpose and hope. The regret that exists in your sibling's heart is something that has grown over time, not because you demanded it or because you held on to anger, but because truth has a way of revealing itself when the noise of pride fades away. They are now standing in a place where they can see clearly the love they did not give, the care they withheld, and the hurt they caused, and this realization carries a weight that cannot easily be ignored. Yet this realization belongs to their journey, not yours, and it is something they must face in their own time without pulling you back into what you have already begun to rise above. There is a gentle freedom in understanding that you are no longer tied to their actions or their choices, and that your peace does not depend on whether they fully understand the depth of what they did. You have moved into a space where your heart can exist without constantly looking back, where your thoughts can rest without searching for closure from someone who may never fully give it. God is holding you in this space, protecting your peace, and guiding you toward a life that feels lighter and more aligned with who you truly are. There are moments when you may feel a quiet sadness, not because you are still hurt in the same way, but because you are letting go of what could have been, releasing the version of the relationship that never fully came to life. This sadness is part of healing, and it is not something to be feared or pushed away, because it allows your heart to gently close one chapter while opening another. God understands this process deeply, and He stays close to you in these moments, offering comfort and reminding you that what is ahead holds something far more fulfilling than what was left behind. Type 1111. There is a strength within you that has grown quietly, without needing recognition or approval. A strength that comes from choosing peace again and again, even when old memories try to return. This strength is not loud or forceful, but steady and calm, allowing you to move forward without fear of being pulled back into the same pain. You have learned how to protect your heart without closing it, how to care without losing yourself, and how to trust God even when human relationships felt uncertain. Your journey is now shifting toward something new, something that does not carry the same weight or confusion as before, something that feels open and full of possibility. God is leading you into relationships that are built on respect, understanding, and genuine care, relationships that do not leave you questioning your worth or feeling unseen. These connections may not look the same as what you once expected, yet they will feel right in a way that brings a quiet sense of peace to your heart. The past no longer has the same hold on you, because you have begun to see it as something that shaped you but does not define you, something that taught you but does not limit you. You are not the same person who once felt small or overlooked, because you have grown into someone who understands their value and refuses to settle for less than what is true and good. God has been shaping this understanding within you, helping you see yourself through His eyes rather than through the lens of past hurt. There is also a gentle reminder within your spirit that forgiveness is not a single moment, but a process that unfolds over time, allowing your heart to gradually release what it has been holding. You may feel at peace one day and unsettled the next, yet this does not mean you are moving backward, but simply that healing is still unfolding in layers. God is patient with you in this process, and He does not rush you or expect perfection, but gently guides you toward a place where your heart feels free and unburdened. Have you noticed how some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly? A leaked CIA document may finally explain why. Scientists studying brainwaves uncovered a simple 7-second ritual believed to activate a powerful abundance response inside the mind. Backed by 4 neuroscience labs, this at-home technique is helping people move from financial struggle to dream lifestyles filled with money, success, travel, and peace of mind. The most unbelievable part is how easy it is to do, but this information could be removed without warning. Click the link in the description and comments now, before it is gone forever. The regret your sibling carries may lead them to reach out, to try to reconnect or express what they now understand. Yet, you are no longer in a place where you need their words to complete your healing. You can listen without reopening wounds, you can respond without losing your peace, and you can choose what is right for you without guilt or pressure. God has given you the wisdom to navigate these moments with grace, allowing you to remain grounded in your own healing while respecting your own boundaries. There is a quiet confidence growing within you, a sense that you are exactly where you need to be, moving at the right pace and guided by a love that has never failed you. This confidence does not depend on external validation or approval, but on the steady presence of God in your life, reminding you that you are seen, valued, and deeply loved. You are learning to trust this presence more fully, allowing it to guide your decisions and shape your path in a way that feels peaceful and clear. As you continue forward, there will be new opportunities for joy, for connection, and for growth, moments that remind you that life is not defined by what went wrong, but by what is still possible. You are stepping into a season where your heart can experience lightness again, where laughter comes more easily, and where hope feels real and present. God is opening these doors for you, not as a reward for enduring pain, but as part of His plan to bring restoration and renewal into your life. You are no longer standing in the shadow of what happened, but walking into the light of who you are becoming, someone who carries both strength and gentleness, someone who understands pain but chooses love, someone who has been shaped by hardship but is not defined by it. This is a beautiful place to be, even if it still feels unfamiliar at times, because it is a place where your heart can truly begin to live freely again. God has been guiding you patiently into this moment, allowing you to release what was never meant to stay, and helping you hold on to what truly matters. Type 1919. There is something sacred about this stage of your journey, because it marks the place where healing is no longer something you are searching for, but something you are living. There was a time when your heart held on to every detail, every word, every moment that caused pain, trying to make sense of it all and searching for a reason that could bring comfort or clarity. Those moments felt endless, as if your thoughts were caught in a loop that would never fully quiet down, yet even then God was gently working within you, planting seeds of peace that would grow in time. Now those seeds are beginning to bloom, and you can feel the difference in the way your spirit responds, no longer overwhelmed in the same way, but steady and calm even when memories surface. The regret that your sibling carries is something that continues to shape their thoughts and emotions, because truth does not fade once it is seen clearly, and the heart cannot ignore what it now understands. They may look back on moments they once dismissed, realizing the depth of what they overlooked, and feeling a quiet sorrow that cannot easily be expressed or resolved. Yet this realization, as powerful as it may be, does not change the path that has already been taken, and it does not place you back in a position where you must carry their burden. There is a deep and quiet wisdom growing within you, a wisdom that understands the difference between compassion and responsibility, between caring for someone and carrying what is not yours to hold. You can feel empathy without losing your peace, and you can acknowledge their regret without allowing it to reopen wounds that have already begun to heal. God is guiding you into this balance, helping you stand in a place where your heart remains open, yet protected by the understanding you have gained through your journey. Type 1212. There is a freedom that comes with recognizing that you are allowed to move forward without waiting for everything to feel complete or resolved. Because life does not always offer perfect closure, yet it still offers new beginnings. You are stepping into a space where your focus is no longer on what was lost, but on what is being created now, something that holds more peace and authenticity than what came before. This is not a denial of the past, but a transformation of how it lives within you, no longer as a source of pain, but as a chapter that has shaped your strength. Your heart is learning to trust again, not in the same way as before, but in a deeper and more grounded way that is rooted in truth rather than expectation. You are becoming more aware of what feels right and what does not, more attuned to the quiet signals within you that guide your choices and protect your well-being. God has been nurturing this awareness within you, helping you recognize your own value and encouraging you to honor it in every area of your life. There is also a growing sense of peace in knowing that you do not have to prove anything to anyone, and that your worth is not something that needs to be earned or validated by those who once failed to see it. You are stepping into a confidence that is quiet yet unshakable, a confidence that comes from understanding who you are in God's eyes and embracing that truth fully. This confidence allows you to move forward without fear of judgment or rejection, because your identity is no longer tied to how others perceive you. The journey you have walked has not been easy, yet it has shaped you into someone who carries both resilience and gentleness, someone who understands pain but chooses to live with compassion and grace. This combination is rare and powerful, and it is something that will continue to guide you as you build new connections and step into new experiences. God is using everything you have been through to prepare you for what lies ahead, ensuring that your future is built on a foundation that is strong and steady. This may sound unbelievable, but thousands of people are talking about a secret 7-second ritual connected to leaked CIA research. The method is designed to shift your brain into a frequency linked to wealth, abundance, and opportunity. People who once lived paycheck to paycheck claim they are now seeing dramatic financial changes, from unexpected money to luxury purchases and dream vacations. 4 neuroscience labs reportedly tested the technique and confirmed its powerful mental effects. You were guided to this for a reason, but this page may not stay online much longer. Click the link in the description and comments now before the secret disappears. There may come a moment when your sibling reaches out, not from a place of pride or defensiveness, but from a place of humility and regret, seeking a connection that was once broken. In that moment, you will have the choice to respond in a way that reflects your healing, not your past hurt, and that choice will come from a place of peace rather than pressure. You are not required to return to what was, and you are not obligated to reopen doors that you have already closed, yet you are free to choose what feels right for your heart. God is with you in that choice, guiding you gently and reminding you that your well-being matters, that your peace is valuable, and that your journey is uniquely yours. There is no right or wrong path in how you respond, only the path that aligns with the healing that has taken place within you. You can extend kindness without losing your boundaries, and you can offer understanding without sacrificing your own sense of safety and peace. As you continue forward, there will be moments of quiet joy that feel almost unfamiliar, because they come without the weight of past pain and without the constant awareness of what once hurt you. These moments are signs of how far you have come, reminders that your heart is capable of feeling light and free again, even after everything you have been through. God is filling your life with these moments, gently restoring your sense of happiness and helping you embrace the beauty of the present. You are no longer defined by what happened, and you are no longer held back by the actions of someone else, because your story is continuing in a way that reflects growth, healing, and a deeper connection with God. The past may always be a part of your story, yet it is no longer the part that shapes your direction or determines your future. You are moving forward with clarity, with purpose, and with a heart that is open to what is still to come. There is something beautiful unfolding in your life now, something that carries a sense of peace that is not dependent on circumstances, but rooted in the presence of God within you. This peace is steady and reliable, offering comfort even in moments of uncertainty, and reminding you that you are never alone in your journey. You are being guided into a future that reflects the healing you have experienced, a future that is filled with hope, connection, and a quiet joy that grows stronger with time. There was a time when your emotions felt like they were tied to what happened, as though your peace depended on whether things could somehow be corrected or understood, yet now you are beginning to feel a separation from that weight. You are no longer standing in the same place emotionally, because your heart has moved beyond the need for everything to be resolved in a way that makes sense. God has guided you into a space where acceptance has quietly taken root, not as a form of surrender to pain, but as a form of freedom from it. The story that once felt unfinished is no longer something that keeps you awake in thought, because you have begun to understand that not every story is meant to return to its beginning, and not every relationship is meant to be restored in the same way it once existed. There is a different kind of completion that has taken place within you, one that does not rely on external changes, but on internal peace. This completion is something God has placed within your spirit, allowing you to close that chapter with a sense of calm rather than confusion. Your sibling's regret continues to exist, and it may even grow stronger as time passes and understanding deepens, yet it no longer reaches you in the same way it once could. You are no longer affected by their realization, because your healing has created a space where their emotions do not control your peace. This does not come from indifference, but from clarity. A clarity that understands that your journey is separate and that your heart deserves to remain free from what does not belong to it. Type 2323. There is a new awareness within you, one that allows you to see relationships with a deeper understanding, recognizing what is healthy, what is genuine, and what aligns with the peace you have worked so hard to find. This awareness is not something you had before, yet it is now guiding you in ways that feel natural and grounded. God has given you this discernment as part of your growth, allowing you to move forward with wisdom instead of uncertainty. There is also a gentle confidence rising within you, a quiet knowing that you are capable of building a life that reflects who you truly are, without being shaped by past hurt or old patterns. This confidence does not need to prove itself to anyone, because it is rooted in the truth of your worth and the strength of your spirit. You are beginning to trust yourself more, to listen to your own inner guidance, and to make choices that support your well-being and peace.